Friends, it is time for the talk. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. That's right, we're talking about it today. Stay tuned. Y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to everyone who is choosing to spend some of their day with me. Thank you so much for all of the positive comments and words of encouragement and words of support that you leave in the comments each and every day. I truly appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's been supporting my channel by watching the playlist, watching the video that's recommended at the end of the video, or binge watching my whole channel. Y'all, I truly appreciate that. Every little bit helps. Hopefully at some point I'll come out of the slump that my channel is currently experiencing, but everything that you're doing shows dedication to the channel, shows dedication to me as a content creator, as your friend, and I truly appreciate it. And now for the talk. No, it is not anything bad. It is one of those things that has been so highly requested that I decided to do a dedicated video for it. Because this will be a video that whenever I get a question about this or that particular item, I'll refer the questioner back to this video. So I decided I would make a whole video. And I'm excited about making this video because I'm excited about sharing things that I like with you. So having said all of that, I do want to preface this by saying, no matter what I say to you in a video about how I like something and how something is working for me, no matter what another content creator says to you about how they like something or how something is working for them, you should always do your own due diligence, do your research, read reviews, go out and see what a whole bunch of other people are saying. I'm never going to try to steer anyone wrong, but our experiences might be totally different. So it's very important that you do some more research beyond what I'll be sharing with you in this video. So remember the beautiful papers that I used to make this and to make this? Well, it prompted a lot of questions. What paper are you using and what printer do you use? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you the new papers that I'm using, and I'm going to share with you the printer that I'm using. So we're going to jump right into it because I'm going to flip to my overhead camera. I'll also be visiting a website and sharing that website with you. So the paper that I'm using, along with the printer that I use, it's giving me magnificent colors, magnificent results. And I thought I was happy with the paper that I was using before, and I have nothing but good things to say about the Koala brand of paper. That's what I had been using. But I wanted to find two things, a 12 by 12 printer and 12 by 12 paper. So what I did was I went online and I started doing searches for the best 12 by 12 printers for a home-based business, as well as the best 12 by 12 paper for inkjet printers. And y'all, there's a lot of stuff out there, but one company stood out to me when it comes to the paper, and that is this company right here, Red River Paper. Before I was doing my searches, I had never heard of Red River Paper, but they kept coming up. Every time I would put in inkjet printers or inkjet printer paper, 12 by 12, Red River Paper would come up. And there were so many positive reviews that I said, okay, let me just go out, visit the site, and see what it's all about. Well, I went out to the site, and I was very impressed because it is so educational. They talk about printers, they talk about paper, they talk about paper thickness. The website itself is a wealth of knowledge if you're wanting to grow what you know about paper. So they offer paper in all sizes, and we're going to visit their website in just a minute. But what I did, I wasn't sure what I needed. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. I knew the printer that I had, and I went out and they offer sample packs. So I decided to order a scrapbooker's sample kit, and it comes with so much awesome paper in here. And I haven't even scratched the surface of the paper that they put in here. But what I like is that every pack of paper that I've gotten from them, and I've ordered quite a bit lately, it is in some kind of boxed form to protect the paper. And each pack comes with a recommended printing guide. Now, you don't have to follow the guide that they put in, but they have done a lot of research on what is going to work best with the type of printer that you have and the paper that you need. So what I've been doing in printing my papers, I have been following what they recommend. So my printer is an Epson inkjet printer, and Red River is an inkjet specialist. So I have been using their recommendations for my Epson printer, and depending on the type of paper that I'm using, I just simply look, here's my printer, here is how they recommend I print their brand of paper using my brand of printer. And y'all have seen it. You've seen how gorgeous the color is. You've seen how rich the color is. So in this pack, you get a whole bunch of different styles of paper. Now, I'm not going to handle each one because I probably at some point want to be able to use them. But at the bottom, they tell you exactly what it is so that when you are print testing, you are able to determine if that is the one that is going to work best for you. Y'all, I really apologize for my overhead light. I might have to move my desk just a little bit because I think it's the overhead light that is causing lines to run through whenever I'm showing something white on my desk. But this whole box here was my sample box. And now we're just going to go to the Red River site so that I can show you exactly what the site is all about. So this is the Red River site. Everything that I'm saying is based on my experience with the papers. I purchased all of my papers. They did not supply any of these papers to me for free. This is not a sponsored video. This is simply what I'm using and what I want to share with you. Now, I do want to disclose that I was so pleased with the papers that I did apply to be a brand ambassador. I was approved, and I do have an affiliate link that I will give you. It is not a discount code. It's simply an affiliate link. So when you use my link, I receive a small commission for anything that you purchase on the site. So I wanted to make that clear up front. But this is not a sponsored video. I would have been making this video even if they hadn't approved my application because so many of you were asking. And in my feedback to you on things that I'm using, I always try to be as honest with you as possible so that you'll be able to then go out and do your research to make the best decision for you as possible. So here's how the site looks, and you can go out and you can select by paper type, paper size, printer model, and I'm not really sure what Enterprise is because I haven't looked at that. But if you have a specific printer that you're looking at, you can go in and then you can find your printer and you can find the best papers that are going to work with your printers. And I'm not putting my picture on the screen because I want to be able to show you the whole site, but I want to tell you how good this site is. When I was looking for 12 by 12 printers that would do borderless, this is the only site that told me that the printer that I wanted to buy would do 12 by 12, but not 12 by 12 borderless. I discounted what they were saying because every other site was telling me, yep, that printer will do 12 by 12 and it'll do 12 by 12 borderless. So what did I do? I listened to all of those other people and I ordered the printer that said it would do 12 by 12 and 12 by 12 borderless. And guess what? Red River was right. My printer will do 12 by 12, but it will not do 12 by 12 borderless. That's why I have that little white border around. So just knowing that they were correct and they were willing to say this one will and this one won't, I was very pleased with that level of expertise that they offered just on the printers alone. So I'm going to go back, and here is how I found what it was I wanted to do. So I wanted to get a sample pack because I wasn't sure of what it was I wanted. And on the sample packs, you get free ground shipping. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to be using scrapbooking type paper. And so I chose scrapbooking. And it tells you here everything that you're going to get, and it was $20. So I think it was maybe 2 sheets of each. I really don't remember, but this is everything that you got. And then based on what I was doing, I decided, okay, I'm just going to try a few of the papers in this pack. And I know that I like matte type paper. I don't want my paper to have that photographer's sheen on it. So I decided that I was going to use the matte paper. And that is where I ended up. I ended up using the matte paper. So I'm showing you this so that you'll know before you actually make a purchase, if that's what you decide to do, you can order your sample pack based on what it is you might be using your papers for. So we're going to head back to the main page, and I do shop papers. And I'm looking for 12 by 12 paper, but Y'all, but I have started ordering my 8.5 by 11 from them. I have gotten some 11 by 17 from them, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to go to all paper sizes, and they have those hard to find sizes. And look what's hard to find, 12 by 12 paper. But I was able to find my 12 by 12 paper here. So when I click on my 12 by 12 paper, you can see all of the different types of 12 by 12 paper that I order. Now, one thing that I'll say is the price is a little pricier than that white paper you might go to the big box store and buy. This is not the same paper. This paper is designed for photographers, but it can be used in our paper crafting, especially when you're using the matte. But it has a coating on it that allows it to accept that color that we're putting down. That's what gives my paper that vibrancy. It has a nice coating of some type on the paper. Whether it's the thinnest paper or the thicker paper, you're getting some type of a coating on there. So I know that I wanted to work with the matte papers. So what I did is I did the 60-pound matte double-sided. You get 50 sheets. And then I decided I wanted to try the 88-pound matte paper. Now, the 88-pound paper is the paper that I have absolutely fallen in love with, because this is that 330 GSM that you guys have heard me talking about. The thickness is 15 mil, and it is a thick, thick paper. It is not cardstock at all. And this does have, like I said, that coating on it. One side is bright white and the other side is an off-white. The bright white is the side on which we print. Now on the 60-pound paper, you can get that in double-sided, so both sides will have the same brightness on it and both sides will have the same print result on it. But for the 88-pound paper, it comes one side coated, one side not. So then if I had any questions about whether or not this is going to print with my printer, I can click on compatibility, and you can see that it's telling me even if I'm using a pigment or a dye ink, yes, it is going to print. Then they have a printer setting library. We can open that if we want, and you can go out and see what they recommend you use for your settings. And then it tells you some of the things that this paper might be used for. But 330 GSM, that is pretty thick. And that is what I have been using to make my awesome boxes and all of the other things that I've used that I haven't needed to use chipboard for. Now, when you go back, it tells you at 88 pounds and 15 mil thickness, this is the heaviest and thickest photo matte stock on the market today. Red River's Polar Matte raises the bar for imaging excellence. And y'all, I can attest to that. This paper brings you professional quality in every sense of the meaning, from the coating to the base stock. So y'all can see that I'm pretty hyped about this particular paper. And I'm hyped about it because I've been using it and I am extremely pleased with it. We're going to go back to Shop Papers, and we're going to go to 8.5 by 11 because I want to show you something. So on the 8.5 by 11, you can see that you get a variety of weights. We go all the way as low as 26 pounds, which is what I've been using for the envelopes, all the way up to 60 pounds. So you can get that in a nice weight to be able to make your cards from 8.5 by 11. But when you look at these other finishes on the paper, you can see that this paper, 8.5 by 11, can go up to 96. So y'all, all I'm doing here is just sharing this with you, but this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about the papers. Where is the girl getting the papers from? Here is where I'm getting my papers from now. Here is where I'm sourcing my 12 by 12s, my 11 by 17s, my 8.5 by 11, the 13 by 19 that I recently purchased is coming from this site. And every time that you make a purchase, when you open your account and you make a purchase, you earn money back. So if I was to sign in, I think that I have like $6.60 in credit that I can use towards my next order. And you start earning those credits immediately. So I see down here they have a little button that says get 10% off. This is probably new to Red River. Sign up for a newsletter and get a special code for 10% off your first order, valid for new customers only. So if you're interested in making a purchase, you can get 10% off. But before you make a purchase, please make sure that you do your own research, your own homework. I am just scratching the surface here. There's so much about this site that I recommend you really just spend some time going through it with a fine-tooth comb, because I want you to be pleased with whatever it is you choose to do. You might decide that this is not the paper for you, and that's okay, but just make sure that you do your homework on any paper or any company that you're looking into. All right, y'all, so that is Red River paper, and that answers the question of where are you getting those papers? Where are you finding 330 GSM paper? I'm finding it at Red River. So I'm just going to show you how my paper comes boxed. So this is my 8.5 by 11, and it comes in this nice little box here. I haven't opened it all the way. I've simply been sliding my papers out, but that is my 8.5 by 11. This pack is the 32 pound. The other pack that I ordered was the 26. So I wanted to try both weights to see how they would do. Pleased with both of them. This is my 60-pound polar mat double-sided. You saw that on the list that I was showing, 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 50 sheets. So it comes boxed like this, and like I said, you can see how when you purchase a pack, each pack on the inside deals with the paper that you've ordered. So this is telling me that this is a 60-pound double-sided polar mat that I have ordered here. And here are their recommendations. Now, do you have to follow their recommendations? No, you don't. You can play around with your printer, and if you like a particular setting better, you can use that. I haven't found any problems with the settings that they have recommended to me. It's been working out fine, and I absolutely am just in love with this particular paper. Now, this is the paper that I have been using to make my cards, but now I'm going to start ordering some of the 8.5 by 11, so I'll be able to cut down my A2 size cards from a single sheet of 8.5 by 11. And then this is that 88 pound 330 GSM, and in here I have the 88 pound polar mat printing recommendations. All of them will come with printing recommendations specific to the paper that you have ordered, and it will talk about the compatible printers for this paper. So you can see that my Epson is on here, and it tells me that to get the best print, I should be printing on ultra premium presentation paper, matte, or the setting should be enhanced matte paper. So that is what I have to share with you as far as it relates to the actual paper that I'm using. Now for the printer that I'm using, to print my 12 by 12s, I am using the Epson EcoTank 8550. I will have a link for that in the description box. I ordered mine through Amazon, and I was able to get it within 2 days. And y'all, I've been very pleased. First of all, I've been pleased with the ink usage. I'm not using as much ink as I thought I would. It's an EcoTank printer, so it comes with the bottles of ink, and you fill each tank. The color that I see depleting the fastest, the gray and the yellow. But by depleting the fastest, I don't mean that I'm out of ink. I'm still using the same tank of ink that I put in when I first got this printer. So I don't know how many items I have printed on this. I think I can go in and check the printer, and it'll tell me how many I was able to print. And if that's the case, I'll come back and share that with you guys, how many I was actually able to print from one box of ink bottles. Because I know that that is important to anyone who's planning on doing printing at home, is how much ink are you using and how many 12 by 12s can you actually get from that tank of ink. But I am using the Epson EcoTank 8550. It's a rather large printer. It's probably about 24, and I'm looking over here because it's over there. It's probably about 24 inches by 18 inches deep, and it has a nice size footprint to it, so you need to have some space for it. You need to have space where it's going to sit and not shake. What I like about this printer is I can do my 11 by 17s, I can do my 12 by 12s, all from the same feeder tray. Or if I want, I can take the back cover off and I can feed through a 13 by 19, or if I have a board of 11 by 17, that's a thicker board, I can feed that through the back as well. So I'm really pleased with this printer. I have two Epsons now. I have the Epson EcoTank 3850. I'll be using that to print my 8.5 by 11s. And then I have the Epson EcoTank 8550, which I will be using to print my 12 by 12s and larger. So that is it. And I hope the talk and I hope sharing this information was helpful to you. I do want to say that I am not an expert on either the paper or the printer. If you have questions about an Epson printer, those questions truly are best answered by Epson. I am not an expert on the printer. I know how to do what I need to do, but there's probably a whole lot more that can be done with the printer that I'm absolutely not doing. As far as the paper from Red River is concerned, I can tell you guys that it's some of the best paper I've ever worked with. I enjoy it. It meets all of my needs. It checks all of my boxes. But when you want technical information, or will it do this or will it do that? How long will it last? How do I store it? What do I do? Those are questions that you really need to ask Red River. Those are not questions that I'll be able to answer in my comment section. So if your questions go beyond what I have shared here in this video, please pose those questions to either Epson or to Red River. Those are questions that I'm not capable of answering, and I would hate to ever steer you wrong. But the one thing that I have to stress, please don't just go out and buy something because I'm sharing with you what I use. Please do your own homework, do your own research, and make sure that whatever you're spending your precious dollars on is what you know you want after you've done your research and your homework. But if you do decide that you want the Epson or you want the Red River, I will have my links in the description box below, but you are under no pressure to purchase either one of these items at all, and I want to make that very clear. So I hope that this has been helpful to those of you who might be interested in printing papers or getting a new printer. If you have found this video helpful, I'd love for you to hit the like button. If you're using a printer that prints 12 by 12 and you absolutely love it, and it's not the Epson EcoTank that I have talked about today, leave that information in the comment section below, because it will give others who read the comments a chance to go out and check other printers or other papers that someone else who's doing digital printing might be using as well. So as always, my friends, please be kind, be safe, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.